We're at the Chicago Auto Show with Subaru, and here is the 2026 Forester Wilderness model.
So we've seen this trend in the auto industry, not just with Subaru. They're kind of being a leader at this way back when the Forester was first introduced, giving you more capable looking utility vehicles, but taking things to another level. Brands are adding things like smaller wheels with all-terrain tires, increasing ground clearance and extra cladding. So you could say they kind of pioneered the crossover vehicle with more capability, and this is plus on top of that.
Yeah, Subaru says that this Wilderness model has more refinement, more capability, enhanced cooling system. The suspension has also been upgraded. It's an off-road tuned suspension like the outgoing model, but upgraded. And then you've got Wilderness badging and cladding. And even when you take a look at the front, Subaru has used these geometric kind of design elements throughout the vehicle. And this is a scratch-proof cladding, so when you go into the wilderness and you're brushing up against trees, you will definitely have some protection with this model.
All right, so with the Outback Wilderness, the cladding was maybe turned up a little bit too much. They seem to have found a nice middle ground, I think, with this. It's really interesting the way they've done the plastic rugged look front and rear bumpers, and then they have it down the side, but it's not to the same extent we saw with the Outback.
Now, this has more towing capacity than the outgoing Forester Wilderness, which was 3,000 pounds. This is now 3,500 pounds. If you want to put a large tent on the roof, when the vehicle is still, it will hold 800 pounds, and when it's moving, 176 pounds.
I do like the wheels. You know, if you watch this channel regularly, you're not a big fan of the black wheels, but I think with this model, it kind of works. I like the design, and we're big fans of these Yokohama Geolandar tires because they give you the extra that you're looking for. So that Forester Plus we talk about with the Wilderness model, good off-road traction, but it's on-road, it's the everyday driving, it's on the highway commuting, that these are quiet, refined, good straight line stability. They do an excellent job.
These are 17-inch wheels with all-terrain tires, Yokohama Geolandar, and Subaru tells us that they've actually increased the width a little bit of these compared to the outgoing model. So this gets 9.3 inches of ground clearance and has dual function X mode and the latest version of EyeSight driver assist technology. There's also been improvements to the approach and departure angles of this model. The approach angle is 23.5 degrees, breakover 21 degrees, and departure angle 25.5 degrees.
So Subaru always markets these kinds of cars with the advertising, somebody with a kayak on the roof, bikes on the roof, they're doing all their weekend wildernessy stuff. Yeah, that is true. But there's also another group of buyers, people that live in areas where they get deep snow, so that extra ground clearance is fantastic for deep snow, or you live in a rural setting where the roads are terrible and you get the washboard on gravel roads. A vehicle like this would be perfect for eating all of that up.
You'll also notice that Subaru for this model has added more tow hooks, 2 in the front and 2 in the rear, and there's all copper accents throughout this vehicle. Let's talk a little bit about the powertrain. This Wilderness model is no different from other Forester gas models. It is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. It's matched to a CVT and has 180 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. Standard, symmetrical, full-time, all-wheel drive.
So we're here also to look at the Forester Hybrid. I'm not sure they're going to do the hybrids for these Wilderness models. It's something they could certainly look at in the future, and it would be capable of doing that with the extra ground clearance.
Subaru tells us that they've added more standard features for this Wilderness model for 2026, but we don't know the details of this trim and what's in it. But from what we can see from this US spec model, you've got Wilderness badging on the seat. This is a power driver seat, manual passenger seat with no height adjustment. You've got an 11.6-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It also has a 12.3-inch digital driver display, which is slightly different than the Forester Hybrid, but it is a digital driver display. Now, some of the unique features in here for the Wilderness model include a geometric design on the dash. You can see that they've carried it over to the inside. We talked a little bit about it on the outside with the cladding, and then you've got copper stitching and a nice textured look on the dash. The geometric pattern goes into the seats as well, so it's not just on the dash or on the exterior. Subaru has brought it to the seats. Forester models are really comfortable. I find them easy to get in and out of, especially with the large door openings. It's very well done, especially for people who might have some mobility issues. This center console is unique to the Wilderness model. Starting here where the wireless charger is, at the end all the way to the storage side, this first off is larger and it feels deeper to me than regular Forester models as well as the hybrid. This layout is also different. This is a model that is only sold in North America, and the feedback that Subaru has received is that US buyers prefer the cup holders designed this way. Subaru also told me that something like a large tablet, I'll use my phone as an example, because this is open, you can fit a large tablet here at the center console. I'm not crazy about this shifter. I don't know, it just looks so kind of old school. I prefer the traditional shifter that is in the Forester gas model and hybrid. Love to hear what you think about this. I think the Ascent has something similar to this shifter. There aren't a ton of hard buttons in this model. When it comes to climate control, you've got to go into the screen, but it does have a tab at the bottom that stays on, so it is easy enough to access. You do have a volume and a tuning knob, and you can control the temperature with these little buttons here too. But overall, this is unique with all of these different features to Wilderness model. This has a Harman Kardon sound system, and the panoramic sunroof has a manual shade.
So you're looking at a 2026 model, which means it's not going to come early this year. It'll come towards the end of 2025 as a 2026 model. And it's been 2 full model years since we had a Wilderness Forester. And what was the pricing then?
Yeah, the 2024 model is almost $44,000 in Canada. That includes freight, PDI, and fees. And the MSRP in the US for the Wilderness model is about $35,000.
You know the price is going to go up. Everything's gone up.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see closer to the on sale date, which will be this fall.
So that's a first look of the Forester Wilderness 2026 model. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you like what you see, subscribe. We'll see you next time.